Welcome to another episode of the New York Card Collector. Today I want to talk about BGS 10 Pristines and PSA 10 cards. I feel like the market is moving in regards to Pristines and PSA 1010s. Obviously, these BGS 10 Pristines plus 10 autos, and then you got the PSA 1010s. Let's just say BGS 1010s and PSA 1010s, just for the sake of it. I feel like the market is moving. I remember when I first got into the market, the hobby, I was buying these 9.5 BGS 9.5s. Now this is a true gem mints. True gem mints. This one has a 10. There are no 9s. They're all 9.5. So it could be all nine. The all subgrades could be 9.5s. 3 9.5s, a 10, 2 9.5s, and 2 10s. Those are true gem mints. I was buying non-true gem mints as well. You know, it had a subgrade of a 9. You know, then a 9.5s and 2 10s. And it was a BGS 9.5s. They're beautiful. You know, but at the time, sometimes they wouldn't even cross over. It was rare that a few would cross over. You know, and a lot of people would say that, you know, PSA had lower standards when it came to crossing over BGSs with a subgrade of 9, you know. But that was then, you know. I don't think they had lower standards. I just think that, you know, maybe Beckett made a few mistakes. I've seen mistakes that Beckett has made, you know, with other cards. I've seen other guys, collectors, that would show the mistakes that Beckett would make. Now, at the time, I was still learning. So I was learning about BGS 10 black labels, you know, hardest grade to get. Then I started learning about the BGS 10 pristines, where it's 3 10s and 1 9.5 pristines. You missed out by 110. By 0.5, you missed out on a black label. I was learning about PSA 10s and then PSA 1010s. Now, it was rare at the time. I mean, I was seeing a lot of PSA 1010s, but it was rare. It wasn't as quite often as I am now. And there was a pecking order. You had BGS 10 black labels. You had BGS 10 pristines. Then came PSA 10s. PSA 10s came out right after that. It was rare that I got to see these. I mean, I got to see them because, I just do a lot of research, and I was combing through the market to see what I can get. But that was the pecking order that I was going through. And at the time as well, I was buying a lot of blue refractors because I was trying to get a PSA 1010. But I was missing every time. Until I decided to pull the trigger in 2023, where I saw a blue refractor PSA 1010 go up for auction, and it was a crossover. It was a crossover from a BGS 9.5. Crossed over, and I was able to get the PSA 1010. I bought it. Little down the road, I ended up getting more. Ended up, I believe, 2 years ago, or maybe last year, bought a BGS 9.5 True Gem Mint gold refractor, crossed it over, came back a PSA 1010. I started showing off the PSA 1010s. Quite a few came up for auction, and I started noticing that the gold refractor in a BGS 1010 was selling for less than the gold refractor PSA 1010. And it happened as well with the blue refractor. PSA 1010 was selling for more than the blue refractor BGS 1010. So there was a question that was brought up that I started talking to other dealers, other collectors, was that, is a BGS 10 worth more than a PSA 1010? And a lot of collectors started saying it might be a shift in the hobby where they might be equal to a little bit more than what a BGS 1010 is worth, at least talking in regards to a PSA 1010. I'm also thinking that it could be because we have a lot of new collectors in the market, a lot more new collectors, that they prefer a PSA slab. Now, again, it's rare to get a PSA 1010. Why? Because I've seen autos come back 9s. I've had them twice happen to me. Autos come back 9s. And they could be the same, same auto, but they're faded because it's going to come back 9. They're off by a bit. It's going to come back 9. Not saying that they're not authentic. It's just, it's hard to get a PSA 1010. Same thing with Beckett. I mean, I see a lot more 10s in autos from Beckett than PSA. But it's rare to see PSA 1010s, So now with that being said, what do you think? What do you think in regards to the market? Do you think that, that the pecking order is still there, or we can start putting these together hand in hand, or is this worth more than the BGS 10 Pristine? I don't know. You let me know. I feel like there's a big change in the market in regards to those grades. Leave a comment, like the video, follow, subscribe to the channel, please. And hopefully we can talk more about this. Hopefully I'll try to put a poll on my Instagram page. Follow the _New York _ card collector in Instagram. All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.